Welcome to Medically Speaking, a special Rock Out Hunger edition. My guests today are Catherine Schick from Feed More West New York, and Dave Jixter from 97 Rock. Guys, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having us. So happy to be here.
Thanks for having us, Mike.
Jixter, if we can, let's start with you. For those who aren't familiar with it, if you can, explain what Rock Out Hunger is. Why is it so important that 97 Rock, Feed More West New York, and Kaleida Health come together each year around Thanksgiving time?
Yeah, 16 years ago, we wanted to do something to help the food bank, and we wanted to do something that would really draw attention. So, back in the days of myself growing up listening to radio, there were always radio stunts. So I was asked by our program director at the time if I'd be willing to live in a truck until it's filled up with food. And I said, sure. We just took it from there. And, the first year, if you look at the numbers, it was successful. It's more about the awareness too than just getting the food. But it's just grown so much each year. And with Kaleida being on board, I know when you guys came to me and really wanted to have the 10,000 Kaleida employees really get involved helping the community. And that was the whole idea behind you guys getting involved, has really jump-started the food drive. The food that the Kaleida employees get is simply amazing. But that's what Rock Out Hunger is about, drawing awareness for everything that Feed More of Western New York does and helping to replenish, because it seems every November they are desperately in need of food. So just two amazing organizations 97 Rock gets to work with.
That's great. Kat, before we get into the totals of what's been collected, let's start with the logistics up front. I know you're involved with a team of Suburban, Michelle Fry, and the folks at the hospital there. Talk about the logistics of the Kaleida Health support, what the sites do, how they get involved. It's not just, one hospital, one location. Talk a little bit about more the way that each of the employees at each of the sites can get involved.
Well, it's absolutely amazing. And as Jixter was saying, having Kaleida Health as a partner with Rock Out Hunger in recent years has really just made all the difference. Right from the get-go, even before Rock Out Hunger starts, we're so fortunate to have Kaleida Health employees and their affiliate locations as well have a pre-collection food drive. So we enter into Rock Out Hunger with an amazing amount of non-perishable food items that we can already load Jixter up in his truck and give him a real head start, which is just incredible. It's really led to having the possibility of allowing us to serve so many more families in need, thanks to this collection support. And then, of course, the week of Rock Out Hunger, we're at Millard Fillmore Suburban Hospital, and it's just amazing. They have a really seamless process in hand, lots of volunteers, easy entrance and exit. So you can stop by, drop off your donation, and be on your way, whether that's on the way to work, on the way from work. It's so easy to just take that point, sometime during the week or multiple times during the week of Rock Out Hunger to just stop by, give back, and really get into the holiday spirit, knowing that you're helping your less fortunate neighbors.
Yeah, we'll talk about Jixter sleeping in the truck in a moment here. We said this was the fourth year between the partnership. Each year has been a little bit different and hopefully growing as we move forward. We're coming out of a COVID peak last year at this time. What were the results last year? Can you put in perspective in terms of pounds or dollars?
Well, last year was just absolutely incredible. While we're always so grateful for the continued support of the West New York community, we know that the pandemic has really increased the level of need here in Western New York and frankly throughout the country. And of course, once again, Western New York stepped up to take care of its own. And I am so thrilled to report that in 2020, Rock Out Hunger collected over 55,000 pounds of food and incredibly over $56,000 in monetary donations, which allows Feed More Western New York to allocate those needs to food and support to keep our programs running. So just incredible how the community responded. And we're really excited and really hopeful that 2021 will be much of the same.
Yeah, that's great to hear. So Jixter, the event is a little bit earlier this year. Like we said, we're going to have it at Suburban Hospital again. So it is easy access to get in, get out, and drop off. But talk a little bit about the date change and why we're doing things a little bit differently this year.
Well, Feed More West New York, they need food 365 days a year. They need food donations 365 days a year. And actually their need is almost higher in the summertime. There's another huge benefit that's going on in the community, Mike, that you and I are involved in, and it's the 11-day power play. And that's actually going to be a world record set for some amazing charity. Clyda is one of the beneficiaries of that as well, Children's Hospital. But that event is going on November 11th through Thanksgiving Eve. So we didn't want to cross promote because we're going to be sponsoring both events. So we thought we'd do it a little earlier. Plus, it'll give Feed More Western New York a little extra time to get the food to the pantries in time for Thanksgiving. There won't be such a rush. Their employees work so hard and their volunteers work so hard, and this will give them a little bit more time this year. So, so we'll do it November 2nd through November 9th. So a little earlier. And we're just going to have to pound through our listeners' heads that, hey, it's not the week before Thanksgiving, but it's Rock Out Hunger is happening now. And I'm sure I've already seen a response from the Kaleida staff, and we'll be promoting it hard along with our media partners, Channel 7.
So Kat, let me ask you, we mentioned COVID-19 earlier. There is a concern still with public gatherings. If you're someone who wants to volunteer or even drop off food or make a donation, you may have some concerns about COVID-19 or whether people are vaccinated or not. What's your message to those who are out there that may want to either help out with donations or volunteer?
Well, Rock Out Hunger is a really great way to volunteer, especially if you are concerned about health and safety. First and foremost, Feed More Western New York, and I know this is the same for Kaleida Health, 97 Rock. They put the health and safety of our volunteers, our staff, community partners first and foremost. Rock Out Hunger is a really great opportunity to get involved because it is an outdoor food and fun drive. So you really have the opportunity to volunteer, but stay outdoors, space out. Again, if you are going to be participating as a donor, it's really great because you don't even have to leave your vehicle. You could drive up, a volunteer could just pick up your donation right out of your trunk. So again, very limited contact, but we're always taking extraordinary measures to make sure that the health and safety of our volunteers, our staff, community partners, and of course our clients are, kept safe and well.
Yeah, we talked about previous years and some of the success that has been had between the organizations. What's the goal for this year? What are you guys trying to accomplish?
Well, our goal, 2020 was an absolute record breaker in terms of money and donations of food and, of course, those turkeys. We'd really love to see our 2020 numbers be repeated again this year. Unfortunately, the pandemic has not gone away, and the resulting food insecurity and economic hardship will really be here to stay for several years to come. We know that there's a lot of hungry Western New Yorkers out there. In fact, we served 36% more Western New Yorkers in 2020 than we did in 2019. So we need to hit those 2020 numbers in terms of a Rock Out Hunger goal, and we're really excited for the continued support of the community.
Jixter, as we wrap up here today, I'm going to ask you the last question. Between Rock Out Hunger and the 11-day power play, you're giving up almost a month of your time and you'll be away from your home. Tell the community why this is so important to you and why this event is so important to Western New York.
Well, thanks, Mike. It's important to me and the radio station here. Before Rock Out Hunger started 16 years ago, I was one of those people. I had really no idea what Feed More did. Feed More Western New York serves not just homeless people, but they serve hardworking families that might have 3 or 4 kids and, work 2 jobs, but still have to figure out if they're going to pay their electric bill or feed their family, and veterans and senior citizens that just don't make the wages. I mean, I've met people that had to use the food bank and Feed More Western New York through the years, and that may need it next year. And hearing their stories really keeps the drive going, and it's something I really do enjoy. People go, "Oh, you're living in a truck." One, I really do live on a truck. I do sleep there. There is the 97 Rock tour bus there, but that's just for a billboard for the radio station, and it draws attention to the site. But I sleep on the truck, and I actually enjoy doing it. And it gets easier and easier every year. It really does.
Dave Jixter from 97 Rock, Catherine Schick from Feedmore, West New York. Thanks for joining me today on Medically Speaking and talking about the 16th annual Rock Out Hunger Food Drive. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.